What if I told you investing when you got credit card debt could absolutely destroy your financial growth, even if your portfolio is doing exceptional? No matter how high your returns are, that 25% you cannot outinvest. Now, in today's video, we're going to be breaking down one of the biggest financial dilemmas that people face. It is the clash between paying off and eliminating that credit card debt or investing money. It is the showdown between having those guaranteed losses and that potential gain that we see by investing. So let's see what side wins in playing and really having this very smart. So let's start with the basics. When we start breaking down credit cards in 2025, it is roughly 24 to 26% APR, which is kind of crazy. Meaning, if you owe $10,000, you're paying roughly $2,500 a year just to service the debt without ever touching the principal at that 25% rate. That is not only expensive, that is absolutely crushing your finances. Now, the key principle here, credit card debt is a guaranteed negative return. If you look at that 24, 25, 26% return, no investment can safely and consistently guarantee you a 25% return, which means if your credit card is charging you that 24%, you are getting a risk-free 100% guaranteed 24% return on your money by eliminating that credit card debt in the entirety. It is better than any product that they have on Wall Street that they can offer without any risk at all. So even when we think about the stock market, cryptocurrency, real estate, your best investment that we have is going to be to clear out this balance on the credit card before we start investing. But I get it. When it comes to investing, there is a massive allure when you have friends that are investing, when you talk to coworkers, markets are going up. Now's the time to invest. If you just start investing now, you're not going to miss out on anything. But that is FOMO talking in its entirety. When we look historically, and I always kind of look at these numbers, looking at something like the S&P 500, it returns 8 to 10% a year over the long term. That's great, but also remember, these returns are not guaranteed. There are some years where you'll make 20%. There are some years where you'll lose 20%. So here's really the big comparison. Paying off and eliminating that credit card debt, guaranteed return, not going to have the risk in there equal really to that interest rate. So again, if you have a card that you're paying 25%, you are going to get a 25% on that. Now, on the investing flip side, potential return, but of course, with a lot more risk than we see than just eliminating that credit card debt. If your credit card interest is double or triple average market returns, the math becomes crystal clear. Every dollar you invest while holding off that debt is really trying to fill up a bucket that has a massive leak in the bottom. Now, personally, when I do financial education and literacy, I see a lot of people who do this where they will put money in a CD, let's say at 3.5%, yet they'll carry a 10% personal loan. I know a lot of people that invest, yet they have $40,000 in credit card debt. It doesn't make sense when you start illustrating this with numbers on the logic and the reason why we're investing when we have credit card debt. Now, of course, if you have lower interest debt, makes a big difference if you're looking at possibly student loans, maybe a low interest mortgage, maybe even an auto loan that's at like a 4 or 5%. Investing might make sense, but let's run through these numbers. So let's say you got $5,000. You got that tax return, which we love to get in February or March. Paying off that 24% interest credit card and investing that $5,000 into an expected 8% return, which again is kind of the average of the S&P 500. If you invest, you'll roughly earn $400 in a year, but that debt will cost you $1,200. This again, where you have to run the numbers and understand exactly how much you're paying to really service that debt. And that also does not include if you're adding any additional to that debt, if you're still using that credit card, if you're only making those minimum payments, it could even run faster. Though that means even though your investment grows, the net worth overall is still going to drop in this scenario. It's like running on a treadmill with the floor moving backwards. Really doesn't make a lot of sense. So the simple truth is you cannot build wealth, and it is near impossible to build wealth while having high interest debt. You're financing your future through these credit card companies. And trust me, they are making money. If you looked at the reports that we just got from Q3, financial institutions are doing incredibly well. Even looking at the numbers from Q2, they are again doing incredibly well. Okay, so that really begs the question, what are the exceptions in here? Again, if you have that low interest debt, we're looking at, let's say, anything, and you could kind of peg this number. For me personally, I say anything under 6%, have a stable emergency fund. Saving money or investing is going to make sense. Of course, right out of the gate, employer match, always get that 100% return that we have in there. So the methodology that I kind of use is first building about that 30-day fund. If you have enough funds in an emergency fund to cover at least 30 days, that is the time we need to start looking at that high interest debt, start eliminating that in its entirety. After that, guys, we're going to be looking at employer 401k matches, going to be looking at investing when you have some of that low interest debt. Managing your debt actually responsibly, consistently investing small amounts, you are still building very healthy habits, which I love to see. The key is prioritize emergency fund, high interest debt, then strategically investing, really in that order. So, how do we look as a disciplined financial investor that they attack debt absolutely aggressively? This is where, again, if you watch the Money Guy show, if you look at Dave Ramsey, you have to be knocking out this debt. It is so absolutely detrimental. Maybe allocating 80%, 90% of your extra cash to debt elimination, maybe putting that 10 or 20% into an investment portfolio. So at least the portfolio doesn't flatline. Because again, being in the financial education, being in the financial institutions, what I see a lot of times is people will focus on debt repayment. It goes by 1 year, 2 years, 5 years down the road. All of a sudden, over the last 10 years, they have invested absolutely nothing. We're talking no employer match. We're talking no investment at all because they're still struggling because they didn't create a budget to actually repay that high interest debt because they're overspending on a regular basis. It is really huge. Now, once that debt is gone, you really flip that ratio. Once you do like an 80-20, where you're putting your extra money towards the debt and then the rest of it into the investing, you could flip it and put 80% into investing, 20% towards that savings. Because again, at this point, you're building the best of both worlds and you won't have that high interest debt to work out. So, of course, here's the bottom line, guys. Before we go through and we chase those investment returns, you have to eliminate those guaranteed losses with that high interest debt. Paying off credit card debt is incredibly boring, but honestly, it is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, risk-free investment that we see and you'll ever make. Once the debt is gone, it is up to you and really your responsibility not to accumulate any more debt. It is just an absolute weight that will drag you down, that will crush your portfolio. Once you can generate and once that cash flow actually grows, credit score will go up and the ability to invest your paycheck will actually skyrocket. So ask yourself, guys, what is the smarter move for the money this month? Are we chasing that 8% return with the S&P 500 while we're paying that 26% credit card? Really doesn't make a big difference. And honestly, when you're going in there, guys, you have to focus on the highest percentage. So, of course, if you found this breakdown valuable, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more financial strategy videos. Every single day we're coming out. And are you going on paying off the debt first? Are you investing while we still owe? It's going to be interesting to see exactly what people say because I know, and I've seen, again, I've been in finances for 20 years. I've seen it on kind of both sides of the fence when it comes to people that just want to invest everything while they're carrying a lot of debt or vice versa. So again, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.